Howdy, peeps, and welcome to another fun filled podcast of Talking Paranormal with the Old Man. And as usual, I am the Old Man and his daughter. Hey, Jess,
Hey, Dad.
how are we doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Pretty well, pretty well. Um, yeah, we have a presentation on Tuesday,
Mm.
and I was going through some of the videos yesterday afternoon. We lost power.
I heard about that. Some people,
Yeah.
like Ink and Needle West also said they lost power.
Yes, yeah, it was, of course, a small little sliver, and we're in that small little sliver. Yeah, we lost power.
For
So,
how long?
well, the the Border Water and Light outage map, it said because this was a little bit before 12, I believe it was, because we were watching Leave It to Beaver, and it went off on for about about 20 seconds, and then finally it just went off. It went. So it says about 11:45 or so, and I went on the Border Water and Light outage map, and it says estimated, of course, unknown reason,
Yep.
and restore time was approximately 4:45. So I'm like, okay, well, then your mom wanted to go to Frandor to Home Goods, and we went to Spirit. So I'm like, well, let me hop in the shower, do my thing, and then I finally got the new license plate for Audrey. So I put that on. I closed up the gazebo, and this was about 1:30. And as I came in the house, the refrigerator was on. So our power came back on about an hour later or so.
Weird. I wonder if it was like a scheduled thing.
I don't think so, because usually if it's scheduled they
Oh, they
will
tell you.
yeah, they usually put out something, on Facebook or whatever, saying that there's gonna be a schedule. But yeah, it's just one of those damn things. It's like,
Inconvenient.
I, at least it wasn't too hot. At least it wasn't too cold.
Did you guys
But
already put on your heater?
oh, hell no.
No?
No, dude, no. No, it's not that cold yet.
We caved and turned ours on last week.
Oh, Jess, no.
It was getting
No.
down to like 48 degrees. There was one day that it was under 30, or no, under 40. It was like 35 when I woke up.
Oh yeah, Thursday morning it was 32 degrees.
Yep. No, we have to
Oh,
protect our
yeah.
cat's beans. We
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I
so
guess
we
so.
caved and turned the heater on.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, you know me. Until I absolutely positively have to,
Yeah. Yeah, and I know.
just because it's expensive, dude, and
Yeah,
they're in
you would always tell us there's blankets.
damn straight,
I'm like,
damn
"Dad, my
straight.
room's cold at night." Well, there's a
Put extra blanket on.
comforter. There's
Yep,
an extra comforter that we're not using
that's right. That's
at the very
right.
top of the drawer, so you can use that.
That's right. That's right. Because I think consume because we have our gas through consumers, and they're doing a price hike this year, of course.
When don't they?
Why, it's like I was talking to your mom yesterday about it. It's like, it's like they want all this money for infrastructure improvements, and then shit like that happened yesterday where the power goes out, and for no reason. There wasn't any storms. It wasn't too hot where people were overloading the circuits, whatever. It just went out. So
Okay, don't get me started on this because I will rant. I was pissed off in May. We didn't have power for over a day, and Board
yes,
of Water and Light didn't even want to give us like a credit or anything. Like a hey, sorry this took so long because you guys got power back. Like I don't think you lost it for that long.
No, no, ours was off for maybe about 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, ours was off for over 24 hours. And they
But
just
yep,
turned it on and was just like, "Okay, well, so yeah, it's on."
yeah, it was almost like, okay, peasants, the lights are back on.
Yeah, and
What are you complaining about? You know?
like I completely understand it takes a lot of people. Like we had like trucks coming in from like Detroit
Oh yeah, yeah,
to help because we didn't expect the storm to hit that bad. And I completely understand that, they worked very hard throughout the night, through everything, but to not even be like, "We're so sorry, here's a credit." I would have even taken a $15 credit of like, "Here, just for the inconvenience," because I
yep.
know people who had to throw away everything in their fridge.
Oh
They had to
yeah,
throw away everything in their freezer.
yep, yep.
They because even after we got power back, like we ran into Dustin's cousins at Summit Comics downtown, and they were like, "Yeah, we still don't have power."
Oh man.
Like we got
Well,
half of the house did for like a couple seconds, and then one of them tried to. They were hungry, so they microwaved a burrito
no,
for
no.
45 minutes,
45 minutes.
and it was still cold.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
They just kept like putting it in 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. She's like, 45 minutes later, I take it out, it's still cold. I'm like, whatever.
Well, that's because they didn't have power, right?
Half.
Have power.
Yeah. Like they
Well,
like half of their apartment did or half of their like townhouse did.
well, you remember though, Jess? That's what happened with us when we were going our trip to the East Coast,
Oh god, that was a miserable
and
morning.
you and Sam were still living at home, and you said that Dad, I saw this green flash outside my window, and half the house had power, half didn't. And then the dumb dog Max, he escaped, and and two of our members were going to a not a Comic Con, but like a paranormal convention for us. And he was calling me, "Where you guys at?" Because we were going to drop off stuff at his house, and we only had half power. So I think that the upstairs towards Sam's room and the kitchen had power, but I think on our end, with our room and your room, did not have power.
Yeah, because it was storming and we had like I thought lightning had hit my AC unit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god." Um, but no, and then I think that was the morning too that mom was like, "Sam, you have to clean your hamster's cage." And he like dumped everything into the bathtub.
And plugged it up.
He plugged it up. We still hadn't taken showers yet.
Oh, I
And then
remember that.
and then mom is like, "Where's Max? Why hasn't he come back?" Then
Yep.
we realize, "Oh, there's a huge hole that he dug that
Yep.
he just kind of scooted under and now he's gone." So now we have to unplug the bathtub. We
Yep.
have to still pack
Yep.
most of our stuff.
Yep.
We have to find the
And then
dog.
we found the dog.
We have to get the equipment to drop off,
Yep.
and then
Oh,
we can go.
yeah, that was not a good start to the trip, and we were gone for like a whole week,
Yep.
if I remember correctly. And it's like we, for the people that care, we went to, we went to Niagara Falls, but because
On the US side.
yes, on the U.S. side, but because of all the bull crap trying to get out of the house, we got there later than what we wanted to, so we couldn't spend too much time. And then we also went to East Syracuse, New York, and Sam's still missing his flip flop, which I'm sure your mom she won't admit it, but I think she did throw away.
She's gonna take that to the grave.
Dude, yeah, it's like, dude, it's like four of us in a hotel room. Where did that thing go?
And even Sam says now, he's like, "I understand those shoes were ugly as sin. You can tell me if you." She's like, "I didn't do
Yeah,
anything to it."
sure. Yeah, sure, Brenda,
I'm
sure.
like, "Well, we didn't."
No, it
So
wasn't us. No, no, because
and it
we
just
were
randomly
we were trying to
disappeared.
find them. What's that?
It just randomly disappeared in the
Yeah,
night.
yeah, and we still don't know what happened to him.
No,
And then we
it's in
went to
a parallel universe.
yes. It's where all those missing socks from the dryer is hanging out at.
Yeah, it's the same place.
Yeah, and then we went to Salem for a day, and then we went down to Martha's Vineyard, and then coming back, we were going to stop in Gettysburg, but if I remember correctly, there was some brothers that we wanted or you wanted to see. What was that, Jess? Do you remember?
So as a tween girl,
And that was a little bit of sarcasm if nobody caught
I was a
it.
tween at the time. I was about 12, 13, and it was 2008, 7, around there. And huge fan of the Jonas Brothers. Like my gamer tag on Xbox is Pink Joe Bro.
Yes, it was, or still is actually.
It still is because you have to pay to change it, and I'm like, whatever. Because pink was my favorite color, and then I love the Jonas Brothers, so Joe Bro. So we came back early to because they were playing DTE
Yes.
at the time. Now Pine Knob.
Well, it's always been Pine Knob, but yes,
It was Pine Knob, and then it was DTE for a little bit, and now it's back.
yes. But everyone still called it Pine Knob.
I was gonna ask, have you kept up to date with that fundraiser for the Conjuring House?
I have not. No.
As of right now, we're at 108,894.
Well, it's went up 100,000 since last week,
Yeah, it looks like about 50K a week. A
but
little
still
bit
way
more than that.
short of what they're trying to get though.
Yeah, 1.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said last week, I think it's a good cause, but I just don't see them, pulling this off just because
They don't
I'm
have
sure.
YouTube money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we touch into maybe some paranormal news that Jesse can enlighten us with, um,
Oh,
we
that was
did
it.
see. Oh, was it?
Yep.
Okay, so Jess, do you have anything paranormal news, bud?
Nope.
Okay. Me and your mom watched The Conjuring Last Rites. We watched it
Friday night.
Friday night, was it?
Yeah, you would text me about it on Friday.
Yep. Our programming has it, so we watched it in the luxury of our own living room. And to quote one of my favorite movies, great flick, great freaking flick.
Was it
Except
really
for
scary?
there was some parts of it that were scary. Yes. Um, it was based on, and this was it's based on a true story. There was a family in Pennsylvania called the Smurls, Jack and I think it's Jack and Janet Smurl, actually, and they had three kids. But I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to give anything away. But it was not what it was. I read the actual book back in the I want to say low God late '80s, early '90s. The book's called The Haunting, and it's about the Smurl House in Pennsylvania. So truthfully, then it was about the Smurls, but in the movie The Conjuring Last Rites, they said that they all lived in the same house, which is not true. The true story was that they lived in a duplex, and the Smurls, Jack and Janet, lived on one side of the duplex, and his parents lived on the other side of the actual duplex. So that was one thing that was off. And me being a stickler for um, exact stuff, precise stuff,
Accuracy.
accuracy. Yeah, they had something wrong, but I know why. Ow! Just scratched my leg. I know why they did it, but yeah, I understand why they did it. They okay. As far as I know, Judy, their only daughter, she did not ever go with them on investigations. Okay, as far as I know, she always stayed at home. Okay, um, in this movie, they had her there helping them investigate, and her future husband also was there. Well, the actor. Well, and this is what threw me because when it first started, they said 1964 on the screen, and Lorraine was going into labor, and I'm like, 64. Okay, they only had one kid, Judy. She was born in 46 because Ed was born in 26. Lorraine was born in 27. So why did they get the 1964 for? So the only thing I can think of is because if they had her date as 46, Ed and Lorraine were only in their 20s. Ed would have been 20 and Lorraine would have been 19. So I think that's why they did it that way. Because if they did her actual date of birth, this was before they even did any investigations because they were still, young and they hadn't started this yet. Because if I remember correctly, the paranormal society that they founded, they did not found that. They didn't create that until I want to say 59. I believe it was. So they basically, and then Judy would have been in her 40s because the Smurl house in the movie was in 86. So Judy would have been 40 and her mom and dad would have been 40, would have been 60 and 59 respectively. So
Oh, yeah, the New England Society for Psychic Research was founded in 1952.
I was close. So, but it was still in the 50s. Um, so yeah, so that was my only gripe was that. I like accuracy. I want it to be in line with everything. So that's the only fault that I found. But one thing that was cool though, and I won't give it away who was there, but at the end when Janet and her husband, I'm sorry, not Janet, when Judy and her husband got married in the church, as they're walking down the aisle to go up, up front, all of the characters or the actors that was in the Conjuring movies were seated in the pews in the church.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Oh, that was, so and so from the first one. Oh, that was from the second one. That was from that, from the Devil Made Me Do It." So yeah, I thought that was, and then they had and this won't give it away, but in in the movie they had Brad Hamilton from the first one
Yeah.
was there. Drew, who was in the first one also, Drew was their assistant that helped set up all the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
And the actor that played the father, he was there. So it was cool because it's
But
like
wait,
I'm
the dad from The Conjuring?
no, 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 no. The priest.
Oh, okay. I was like, wasn't that Burger?
Yes, yes, yeah, yes. But yeah, yeah, yeah. No, yes, he was, but no, he wasn't in this. Um, yeah. So the priest that was in, you know how it was just like when you it's like I have the church has a case for you.
Yeah.
It was him. So yeah, so
Oh,
he
okay.
he was there, and he was there through about halfway through. But yeah, it was just cool because it's like, if you're a nerd like me and and I keep track of all this shit, and it's like, oh yeah, there's like I said, I'm not gonna give it away, but there was so and so from the first one, so and so from the second one, so and so from this one, and I thought because supposedly air quotes supposedly this is the last one of the Conjuring series. However, I have heard that there is a prequel that is in the works, and there's a HBO series about the Warrens that's in the works also.
Okay.
But this was again the air quotes officially. Oh, excuse me, officially the last Conjuring series. of the series. But like I said, I heard that there's a prequel coming or in the works, and there's a HBO miniseries in the works also. So yeah,
We had invited Dustin's cousins, and I guess mine in-law, over
yep,
on
yep.
Friday because they're huge fans of Scream.
Mm, hmm.
Love the movie.
Okay.
They've met like I think almost all the actors.
Ah, cool.
Like definitely Matthew Lillard, definitely was it Skeet Ulrich? Something like that. Huge fans. And
Okay.
I've never seen it.
You
Uh
never seen Scream?
Never seen Scream.
Oh,
I
Jess.
know the premise of it. I know like Drew Barrymore's kill spoilers. That Drew Barrymore is killed in like the first couple minutes of it, even though
Yep.
she's on like the poster. Um, I know a little bit of like who the actual killers are, but I've never seen it. And they are
Okay.
like religious. They watch it all. One of them, she listens to it to go to sleep.
Really?
Yeah, huge, huge,
Okay.
huge fan. She's seen it so many times, and I was like, I can't imagine anyone better to watch it with than you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So they came over, but we got to talking about family gossip, and
Oh no.
they were here until midnight, and we didn't start the movie. So, so my reign of not seeing Scream has continued.
Damn.
Um, but yeah, it's like I told them when like one of them showed up early, and I was like, "So am I gonna shit my pants? Like, is this really scary?" And she's like, I'm not like the best one to ask because I put it on as white noise to go to sleep.
Okay.
So,
So I would say probably
um,
not.
she's like, I mean, I don't think so. But and then her sister came and I was like, "Am I gonna shit my pants?" And she's like, and, and she's like, "Well, like, do you like horror movies?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, I'm like, I like more psychological thrillers, the ones that kind of mess with your head.
Right.
I'm like I like Conjuring movies. She's like, "Oh, then you'll be fine." She's like, "You'll
Oh,
be more than fine if you watch the Conjuring movies."
yes.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
I've seen most of them, but yeah. And she's like, "No, you'll be fine." Never saw it, but we got to yapping. But you know, maybe one day.
well, we're speaking of meeting people. I don't know if you've mentioned it. Are you and Dustin going to the Comic Con?
We're still kind of on the fence. Um, I'm not sure. Are you guys planning on going?
Probably not. Just because there's like so many people. But I would like
Well,
to
I
meet
think
Linda Blair though.
yeah, she's gonna be there.
Yeah, she's
I
there.
was I was hoping that if she was there, she would have a like a picture, like an 8x10. Because anyone who hasn't gone to like Comic Cons or anything, usually the people there, the actors that you can meet, they will have like you can have like pop figures signed. You can have like a if you have a Blu-ray of The Exorcist, you can have that signed. If you don't
Or
have anything though,
or if you are
or
lucky, you can have the Halo helmet and get that signed by Jen Taylor and Steve Downes. And
if
the only
you're
reason why I'm
one of the lucky individuals.
the only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at mine right now, along with the picture of me and Jen and Steve. Yeah, see, we're on first name basis now. So Jen
Yeah.
and Steve up there. I see the picture of me. We had just got back from New Orleans, and I do have the Halo or Master Chief's helmet signed by both of them in a glass case or plastic case. So yeah, if so that kind of thing. So go ahead and continue, Jess. I had to put that in there.
Yeah, they like when I met Freddie Stroma from Peacemaker, I had the first comic that Adrian Chase, his character, was introduced in.
Oh, nice.
But when I met voice actor Christopher Sabat, I had nothing. I was only in line to support Dustin, and then I was like, "Wait, he voiced this guy?" And Dustin's like, "Yeah, dude," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I need to get his signature." And if you're in my position they have like 8x10s of like stills from movies or shows that they've been in or voiced characters in that you can like bring up. And I was hoping that Linda Blair would have the still of it was season 1 of Supernatural. I forgot what episode, but she was
Oh
in
yeah.
it.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
hoping they would have the still of that, because my favorite part about that is the ending when they separate, the Winchesters separate from her because she was like a cop, and Dean looks at Sam and says, "I don't know why, but I'm really craving pea soup,"
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
or something along those lines. And I always thought that was so fun. But yeah, we there isn't anyone that's really standing out. Um, Dustin's cousins, of course, are going because Matthew Lillard is going to be there.
Well, of course.
um,
Of course.
with Jamie Kennedy and I want to say his name is Skeet Ulrich, um, or
From
Skeeter
Scream, right?
Ulrich. Yeah, the three of them are going to be there, and like so are the some Twilight people are going to be
Okay.
there.
Yep. Yep.
So there is like a comic book author that Dustin was thinking about,
Okay.
but Lansing Comic Con is pretty similar. Like when we went that one time, I think you were with us, it was really like bare bones. And when Daniel invited us this time, I'm like, oh, like we're gonna like walk around. It's huge. It is huge now.
Well,
There's so many more vendors. There's food. There's like drinks. It's a whole thing, and we're kind of like, why drive an hour and a half
when you
when we
can,
have it here?
yeah, yeah. No, see, I think my invitation just got lost in the mail for that.
Oh, I thought you went with us
No,
before.
no. The only thing I have gone with you guys was this year to or last year to the tattoo convention.
That's what it was. Same place.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yep. So yeah,
Oh,
no,
right. That
I'm
was
not.
earlier this year. Oh my god.
No, was it this year?
Yeah. Because we. Ooh, this is a great segue because you were talking to Sarah
Yeah.
about the bath investigation.
Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, so it must have been well, it must have been early May then, because your mom and her friend were having the garage sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, it had to have been in early May. Okay. And yeah, Jess, that was a good lead in to Bath, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Since we yapped for 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, well, you know what? I mean, that's fine. We can't. I mean, I can talk all freaking day,
Hmm.
about this stuff, but yeah. So, okay. So I guess before we go into Bath, um, do you have anything more that you want to add about the Comic Con or anything? Or
No, not really. I know that it's mid-November, so like there's still some time for them to introduce or to like I guess introduce people. I can't think of the right word. Um
add people?
Announce. Announce.
Announce. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, there's still time to announce different people. I think the last one was Amy Smart.
Okay.
And Dustin and I just recently watched Rat Race. It's
Okay.
like 2000. It's um it feels like a fever dream. It's definitely like a stoner movie, but we I, it was a feel good. Like we were both been having kind of like a shitty day, and
Uh,
I was like, it was we watch movies on the weekends, and he's like, I think I have one that is a little kind of like doesn't take itself seriously. I'm like, okay, like Whoopi Goldberg's in it,
oh,
but
okay.
also Seth Green is in it,
That's
and Mr.
a
Bean
good
is in
comment.
it.
Mr. Bean is?
Mr. Bean is,
Wow, Mr. Bean. That is
and
a weird cast.
oh, what's his name? He was John Cleese.
The name sounds familiar.
I think it was John Cleese, right? Or am I thinking of someone else? I always get him. Yeah, it was John Cleese.
Okay.
He was he voiced the king in Shrek, but he's most known for Monty
Oh,
Python.
yes. Okay. Yep. 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 Okay.
Yeah, like he's in it. John Lovitz is in it.
Oh my God.
Like I said, Seth Green, Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it.
Holy shit.
Like, the cast makes no sense to me,
Oh, yeah,
but
exactly.
it's a funny movie. Definitely like a don't take it seriously kind of movie. And when she was announced, Dustin's like, "Did you see who was announced?" I'm like, "Amy Smart from Rat Race." Yes.
Well, too, the whole supernatural thing is one of my other favorite. As you know, I have like a lot of favorite episodes of Supernatural, but the
Mhm.
one that references like other other TV shows, because you had mentioned Linda Blair was in Supernatural,
Mhm.
and and Dean said, "Oh, I'm getting a craving for a pea soup,"
Yeah.
The one where they were in Hollywood taking that tour, and they were
Oh,
talking about Stars Hollow,
yep.
and Dean had said something about, "Oh, there's a what was it? Something to the effect like there's a star of Gilmore Girls,
Oh, I
and,
have this memorized. So they're on
and
this tour
yeah, yeah,
and the announcer is like, and like now we're heading into the set of Gilmore Girls. And
yep,
Sam like whips his head around. And
yeah,
she's like, and if we're lucky enough, we'll see
yeah,
one of the cast. And he looks at Dean,
uh,
he's like, we gotta go.
yep, yep, yep,
I
yep,
actually just got Dustin to start watching Gilmore Girls.
yes, yes.
He's really enjoying it. Um, and we're only on season 3, so he has a long way
Okay.
to go. But Jared is about to leave for Supernatural
Oh,
soon. So
okay. Yep. Well, the whole thing is, I liked Gilmore Girls. Yes, I know it's a chick movie or chick TV show, but I still think that Lorelai, man, she did Luke bad by going back to Chris.
of all the times that she did too,
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I stopped watching it, and it's the same way on Sex in the City when Carrie dropped Aiden for Mr. Big.
mm-hmm,
I'm like, you bitch! I stopped watching it. I have not watched it since.
yeah.
Yeah, I do have my loyalties, baby. I have my loyalties. Damn it.
Oh,
Um,
hey Ava.
Ava. Yeah, we are. I mean, on my end, doing good. Have a presentation on Wednesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday. Have a presentation. So if anyone's in Michigan and you're in a White Lake Township Public Library, I'm there for 2 hours for a presentation. So stop in and say hey. And I know that that is a stretch, but yeah, stop in and say hey.
And where's White Lake Township?
It's over by it's over by um well crap. Let me give you exactly where it's at. It's over by no, I'm sorry. It is not White Lake Township. My apologies, people. That is at the end of September. I'm sorry, of October. The one I'm doing Tuesday is in Oxford, Michigan,
Mm.
which is over by Oxford. it's it's over. It's way the freak over there, dude. It's it's way the hell over there. It's you go all the way, dude. It's like you go on 69 past Flint, past Davison, over by Lapeer. You take 24 down to Oxford. It's if I take the highway, it's about an hour and a half. If I go
Okay.
back road, it's 2 hours.
Jeez, it's out there then.
Well, I mean, I do get paid for it, so it's not a big deal. And then the following week, we're going. So Oxford is a repeat from last year, and then we have Romeo, which is also a repeat from last year. They asked us back. So, and Romeo is off of 53. That's over by Imlay City. So it's a little bit further west. I'm sorry, east. And then the one that we have is the Tuesday before Halloweeny. That one is in White Lake Township. Actually, it was over by Whitmore Lake, yeah. That one is off of 23 and 36. How I went when I got that screw in my damn tire was I took the back roads through Mason, Dansville, Gregory, Anderson, Pinckney, and then went into White Lake, oh, I'm sorry, Whitmore Lake. And that road was just full of freaking curves, man. Holy shit. Like you couldn't get going fast because it seemed like every 2 miles you had a freaking curve that had like a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, man.
Yeah.
But okay, well, we only have a half an hour left, Jess, because it was suggested to me by a certain person. Hey, Brenda, if you're listening, to keep it to about an hour time because otherwise we might lose people. So, with that being said, let's talk about the school bombing site in Bath, our investigations. Now,
Okey-doke.
I grew up in Michigan. I grew up about an half hour, 45 minutes from Lansing. And I didn't find out about, or I did not hear about Bath, honestly, until, oh God, like 96 or 97. We had only been a group for about a year or two when I heard about this. And one of our members, she asked me, "Have you been to Bath?" And I'm like, "What? What the fuck's Bath?" You know, you're asking me if I'm taking a bath, you know? Now, yeah. So I'm like, "No, what happened in Bath?" And she goes, "Oh, the school was blown up, back in the 20s and stuff, and people were killed." And that's what got my interest going. So one of the first times that we were there, we actually got two EVPs, and I will post them on our Facebook page after I upload it to our Facebook page. One EVP is, well, we were standing in front of the tower there, cupola, and one of the questions that we asked was where a certain room was, like, and I think it was like, where was the math room or something like that. And it came, and the EVP is, clear as a bell, and it says where, I'm not quite sure. And we didn't hear it when we were talking. And then we got a second EVP that evening, and the EVP asked, "I have a question." And again, as most EVPs are, it's a whisper, but you can hear it clear. There's no like, well, they could be saying something else. No, they were, where, I'm not quite sure, and I have a question. So that was like one of our first 3 or 4 times there. And then the other couple of times, it was, I know our team was there, Brenda was there, Kirby was there, and that's a name that I haven't heard for a long time, Kirby. Um, but back in the day, and I don't know why they did this, but the city of Bath, more or less, the place that was the school where the school was at is now a park, and they put in a gazebo over to one side that people can sit there, and I believe they have, or at least they did have grills there that you could, have cookout, whatever. I know that there's a toilet, one of those porta johns, and I will say that is one of the best smelling porta johns I have been into. And I have been in a few, and that smelled pretty good, and it was pretty clean too. And they had benches, like park benches, scattered throughout this park. And the park is only maybe half a block long, so it's not a very big park, and maybe yeah, a block wide, half a block long, or maybe it's a block by a block. And they used to have, like I said, small park benches, and for some reason they took the park benches out. I don't know why. Well, years ago when we were there, your mom and Kirby said that they were sitting. I think they said they were sitting in the gazebo, and they happened to look to their left, and on the park bench, maybe about 30, 40 feet away, your mom said that they saw an old man, and he was sitting on the bench like he was doing yoga. He had his legs crossed, his hands, up in the air like you do, in a yoga position, on his knees, palms facing up. And they didn't think, anything of it until they looked back a second or two later and he was gone. And the park is like open space. So was no place for this old dude, especially if he was old, he's going to, move probably pretty slow. There was no place for him to go to get out of the park before they could not see him. So your mom said that it was like maybe 10 seconds at the most, and they looked back again, gone. And to quote one of my other favorite movies, he was gone like a fart in the wind. And that was from if people what that was from. Um, then this other time, it's not or uncommon, I should say, to have like the people that live in Bath when we're doing our investigation, because it's we can't close off the park. They We had people that live there would be in the park also. Well, one of our members, he was between the cupola and the gazebo, and there was these three teenage girls that lived in Bath, and they were just to the east of the cupola, and he could see them, and he said that he saw like an older gentleman he goes he was walking with a purpose, and he was walking on the sidewalk, or actually just to the north of the sidewalk, walking towards those three teenage girls. And he told me, he goes, I thought that they were going to, he was going to harass them. So he started walking towards the three teenage girls to intercept the old guy who was walking quickly towards them. And he said when he got to the three girls and went past them towards the cupola, the old guy that he had seen was not there no more. And he goes, I looked all around, and he goes, I saw that he was heading towards them, but he goes, he just, again, like a fart in the wind, just gone. And it's not uncommon at Bath to have your shirt sleeves pulled, someone pulling on your pants, like, hey, excuse me. And how we had got to do an well, and we investigated a house across the street that was one of the houses after the actual school bombing they took victims over to wait for an ambulance to come and pick them up to take them into Lansing to the hospital. And uh, I won't tell you who she is, but she had seen this over the Bath a few times, and she has as well. I have a story. She goes, I grew up not far from here, in Bath, but not too far from the actual park. And she said that she would always walk the sidewalk in front of the park, and she kept on seeing like this kid, but she goes, he was a black kid, and she goes, I didn't think anything of it, but he would not go only to the sidewalk. That was as far as he would go. And if I remember correctly, he didn't say nothing, but he would always like come, and she would see him, and he was always walking towards the sidewalk, and he would stop. So one day she goes, I finally figured it out that he wasn't a black kid. He was a kid that was burned. He was a victim from the school bombing. And that's why he was all black, because he was burned. His skin was all burned. And she goes, and then after that, she goes, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I mean, she goes, that's kind of sad that that he still is walking around the park. And we investigated her house. And she was older now, obviously, from when she was a kid and seen him. And she lived across the street in one of the houses, like I said, that they took the actual victims to. So we investigated her house, and we got a few things that I don't remember. I don't think it's anything major, but we did catch a few things. And then that was that evening, Jess, when we came back home. That's when, I don't know if you remember, but our closet light in our bedroom came on and is always off.
That's right.
a- And your mom heard footsteps coming up and down the hallway from like our kitchen to our room down the hallway.
Yeah.
And we have gotten, like I said, we have gotten my stance on, I know this is probably going to piss off a lot of people, but my stance on orbs have changed. I used to, I mean, I know that not all orbs are spirit orbs. I understand this. You know, it could be, pollen in the air or dust, animal dander, whatever. It's not, spirit orbs are not technically, cannot always be spirit orbs. There's other explanation for this. And I used to, be not a firm believer, but I used to be a believer in orbs. Okay, if we have orbs, they have to be a spirit or a ghost. Well, my stance have, softened up a little bit. I don't believe that everything is spirits that are orbs. Now, there are some that are. I have gotten personally some myself. Gettysburg, we were in front of the National Cemetery there on Baltimore Street, and our EMF meter went off. We were coming from the actual battlefield. Our EMF went off. I took a picture and got a big ass orb on Baltimore Street, and he's moving or she's moving because you can see a tail behind her. Um, so yeah, that was an orb, a spirit orb. But at Bath, because it is outside, not everything that you get is a spirit orb. It could, like I said, it could be pollen, it could be dust, it could be moisture in the air. But and a lot of pictures we have gotten orbs, whatever. Our SLS camera, which is a 360 Xbox 360 connected to a tablet, connected to software. That if you watch the TV shows, they the software in the Connect, if it detects like a person-like figure, it turns it into a stick figure ish. And I'm sure that you've seen it. People on, I know Ghost Adventures has it. I know a lot of the YouTube channels have it, where they have that. And we were just there in May, like we have mentioned earlier, and I did pick up a stick figure over by the church on our SLS camera, and the church is where these seniors were doing graduation. And that's also a place, Jess, if you remember last time that you and Dustin was there with us, he had the SLS camera and he caught a stick figure in that same general area.
Yeah.
So, and then that's basically, what we have got. We always get evidence there. Um, but those are the two times or the three times, I guess, that we have seen apparitions, actual spirits there, not just orbs that could be anything. I almost forgot. That's that air quote, the famous picture that Sam took that one time when, because we always do roll call at usually about 9:30. We do roll call in front of the cupola, and we have a tape recorder running, and I have a brown book by the next door neighbor of Andrew Kehoe, who did this whole thing. He he published a brown book that has the names of all the actual victims of Bath. So every year that we go there at 9:30 p.m. ish, I always do what I call is roll call, where I'll say I'm a new teacher here. I don't know you by name. If you're here, please say here. And then so I'll read a name. I'll pause for a response because we have a tape recorder running. I'll put it, say a name, wait, wait for a response, say a name, wait for a response, so on, so on, so on. Well, our son Sam, he took a picture, not okay, just a clarification, not son of Sam, but our son Sam. Big difference. He took a picture of me doing roll call, and there are some of our group there with us that you can see them. But above them, and again, there is a phrase for this. It's called pareidolia, and pareidolia is seeing faces where there's no faces. Your mind will see like a design, and your mind, works in mysterious ways. It tries to make it into something that they can understand, which is a picture. Well, I don't believe in parad. I mean, I'm sorry. I do believe in pareidolia, where you'll see something that you say, "Oh, that was, that's a face." It just turns out to be a design in paneling, or the light's coming in a certain way and this makes it look like a face. Well, in this picture, and I have in a presentation, I have matched up three pictures in or three faces to pictures in the book, because the brown book also has pictures of each victim. And there's no denying that these are the people in this, and I will probably post that too after this, just so you guys can see again on our Facebook page, Talking Paranormal with the Old Man and his daughter. I will post the pictures from that, also the EVPs too. So yeah, so Bath is very active. It does not look like much. It's just a park now, but the times that we have been there, we have always had activity, always. And if you ever get a chance, if you're ever in Michigan, let, let me know, and I'll take you over to Bath, and I'll give you a long, probably too long story of what happened in Bath. So, and I think, Jess, that you've had experiences there at Bath.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, like, it's not out of the question to feel like your shirt being pulled.
Excuse me, as if someone's saying, "Excuse me, sir, can you help me?" Or, "I have a question," or something like that.
Like, if you've ever been with, like, a toddler and they want your attention and you're, like, doing something, and they come over and, like, kinda just grab your shirt and kind of pull it a couple times?
Yep. Yes.
That's what it feels like, and then, like, you look down expecting to see something, and you don't.
But see, that is where, kids will be kids. They still have the same traits as they did, you know.
And, like, I will admit too that it's when you get there, like, that roll call picture, I remember Sam showing me,
Yeah.
um, and, like, at that time, I was crying because it is gut-wrenching what happened to those kids, what happened to those teachers. Like, it's you really feel it, l like, in, like, the kinda like the heaviness of the air, like, the energy. It's very somber, it's very just it's so sad what happened.
Well, I mean, and along that little line of thought, Jess, is, as if people are not aware, Bath is a really small, and I'm not even going to say town. It's more like a village. It's
Mhm.
really freaking small, and this tragedy, it affected everybody, because if you were fortunate enough to not have lost any of your children in the school explosion, you knew people who did. And there was one family that lost three sisters, and there was other people that lost a son and a sister, but somebody knew somebody that was affected. And one of the active spots too is the north part of the park. I couldn't think what I was trying to say. Of the park, it was kind of like a grassy incline, and that's where they laid out the bodies of the children and the teachers too, because there was a few teachers that were killed there also. And they put the bodies there and covered the bodies, and had the parents. Can you imagine? Had the parents walk past the children to identify them. I mean, it had to have been heart wrenching. And I'm still writing the book. Someone here soon, I'll get off my butt and start. writing this book. It's not going to be about ghosts. It's not going to be about paranormal, anything like that. This is going to be strictly. I'm taking, I guess, creative liberties on this, but it's going to follow the. It's going to basically follow the framework of what happened. It's just I'm going to add like what I would assume would be the conversations that these people had from knowing
Mhm.
what I know. I've read the inquest, the coroner's inquest. I've read all the books. I emailed back and forth. Gene Wilkinson, who has since passed, he was the town, if you will, historian, and he told me a lot of stuff that if I had questions, I would ask him. He would answer me back with answers and stuff. So I know quite a bit about Bath, and I don't know. And again, I'll just mention this too: is we did a present, or I did a presentation. I went actually by myself because that was the October just before we went on our first trip overseas,
Yeah.
and I did a presentation in Tecumseh, which is where Keyhole was from, and your mom didn't go because she was homesick. She was basically coughing, sick, whatever. She was, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I went alone. And that's where after my presentations, just as you are, aware, because you have been to a few, um, people come up with questions, their own stories, their own pictures, whatever,
Yeah.
which 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 is fine. I'm glad to share you know my enthusiasm for the paranormal with other people. And I had this one woman afterwards, and she goes, "You know why you're so interested in Bath?" And I'm like, "No," I go, "Not really." I go, I have an interest in Bath." And she said, "You were there." And I'm like, I'm doing my best Minion impersonation. What? She goes, "You were there." And I'm like, okay. I was like, speechless. Okay. And she goes, "You were there. You were one of the victims of the school bombing, and that's why you have such an interest." And she goes, "Your name was Robert." And I'm like, "Well, there was two Roberts. There was a Robert Hart and a Robert. I can't remember his last name at the time here." And he goes, "Well, like Robert Hart was 14, and the other Robert, oh, is Robert. I want to say England. England is like Eugland or something to that effect." And she goes, and I go, "He was 10." She goes, "No, you were the older one." So, of course, again, I was like that blindsided me. So I'm like, "Okay, thank you very much." I didn't ask like, "How do you know this?" I'm like, "Okay, thank you very much," and she walked away. Um, so I think that's where supposedly my my interest in what happened in Bath came from. Now, and I don't know why they freaking did this, but for years after, the school, just to orientate you here, the school, the main front part of the school faced west. The back of the school faced obviously east. Then you had because it's basically long, like it went from north to south, and then you had like the front entrance, and then like a back entrance, I guess. So it ran lengthwise from north to south. Well, the actual bombing was in the north part of the school. And for years, and I don't know why they freaking took this down, off of Webster, which if you're looking at the front of the school, looking east, it would have been to the northwest. There used to be three huge slabs of concrete, and those, and along with like three or four pine trees, and those were the remnants to just to show you how massive the blast was. We're talking, Jess. What do you think, Jess? Maybe 400 feet
Yeah,
away.
about
because I'm really bad with years and distances and everything. But so if it was 300 to 400 feet away from where the explosion was, these pieces of concrete, slabs of concrete, had to have been 200 to 300 pounds easily each, if not more. And they were hurtled 300 to 400 feet, and they were in that corner off of Webster there by those 3 or 4 pine trees. And how I found out about that is a couple of years before that, we were doing an investigation, and I'm not passing judgment, but there was this older woman who was walking her cat on a leash. Again, I'm not passing judgment, to each their own, but she was out walking her cat, and she goes, "Oh yeah," she goes, and we had spoken to her before. She goes, "Oh, do you know that these pieces of concrete was from the school?" I'm like, "I did not. I was not aware of that." She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "Those 3 or 4 um, slabs of concrete came from the school." And I'm like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, yeah." And then we were there 2 years ago, gone. They took them away. And I don't understand why they took them away. It wasn't hurting anything. It wasn't blocking traffic. It wasn't obstructing the view. But those 3 or 4 slabs of concrete had been moved, and along with the pine trees. So I was kind of a little bit bummed out about that, because it's like, dude, that was part of what happened here. But anyways, yeah. So there we always have activity there, always, and always seems to be about 9:30 every time. I mean, every time that we have been there, the the wind picks up, even if it was a still night, the whole freaking night during the investigation. At about 9:30, the wind picks up, and any activity that we had, it stops. Like, no pun intended. It stops totally dead. Everything that we had stopped, and it's like, okay, cool. And I do believe, I still think that that's when Kehoe comes back. For I can't prove it, but for some reason I think that's when Kehoe comes back and just messes up everything, like totally messes up everything.
Like the air
So
even like stills.
yeah,
Like there's not
yeah,
even any wind blowing. It's very weird.
yep. So it happens about 9:30 ish every time, and it's like, okay, I guess he's back for a time being here. So anyways, all right, Jess, we are at our time limit, kind of. So,
Yep.
I guess, do you have anything else to add, or
No,
want to add, or want to mention, or
no, I
anything?
think that's it.
All right. Well, again, if you're for any odds that you might have that you're in Michigan on Tuesday in Oxford, I will be there for a presentation. Stop in and say hey. Um, it's about a 2 hour presentation. I give evidence that we have gotten, as far as EVPs. It is a PowerPoint EVPs, pictures, stories, fun stories that go over people's heads. But I think it's humorous anyways. But so anyways, I guess, Jess, if you don't have anything, as usual, thank you for co-hosting this week,
Absolutely.
and thank you all. Ava, it's good to see you back in the chat, and we'll see you guys a week from today. The topic, I have no idea.
We'll
I
figure it
got no
out.
idea. We'll figure it out as we go. As you can probably tell, that's how we go, by the seat of our pants. And sometimes it goes good, sometimes it tanks. That's just how it is. We are still looking. Hopefully, I am looking. Hopefully, we get this thing set up where me and Jess is going to do reaction videos of the paranormal, reaction videos to videos, or videos. And we do have a YouTube channel set up. It's called The Spider's Web. If you go there now, you won't see shit. There isn't anything there. Just the profile picture is up right now. And then we're also going to be hopefully just streaming here pretty soon that ghost game that I can't always say correctly.
Phasmophobia.
Thank you. I can't say it. I slaughter it every time. So we are still looking at live streaming that. There will be 4 of us playing. As far as I know, that was the plan. So that's what we have coming up. Is I have 3 libraries this month. I have one Tuesday, the one I think the following Thursday. That's in Romeo, and then the one 2 weeks from Tuesday is in Whitmore Lake Township Library. And if you're in the area, whatever, please do. I'll talk about it. Obviously, the upcoming podcast here, and we have the Spider's Web reaction video YouTube channel, and we have our streaming our game. So that's what's coming up. So again, thank you all for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. What's left of it? It is a Sunday, obviously. Uh, Ava, you have a wonderful afternoon yourself. And again, stay away from the light. And Jess, again, thank you for co-hosting.
Absolutely.
And be good to each other. And see you if you're here next week. We'll see you then.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye.